What's going on, guys? My name is Duke, and this is Farming Simulator 25. This is also my first recorded and edited YouTube video. I've got a couple other videos on the channel from some streams I did a few months ago, but we're actually going to try and take a shot at recording and editing and playing a game that I like, and hopefully you guys like to see it. So this is the Michigan map. I think it's a 4X map. Looks to be that way. It's huge, got large fields, and lots of cool stuff. So I see lots of YouTube videos about guys that do these starting from $0 in a chainsaw, and all these ridiculously hard challenges in Farming Simulator. I've done it before. I like them. They're fun. But we're going to play this one kind of how we want to. I did the starter farm. I started off with $1 million. I sold off some land, sold off an equipment, and I bought everything that I want for this world, or I guess this save, should I say. So I got 2 tractors, I got a harvester, I got a header right over here, I got an auger wagon, a grain cart, a flatbed trailer for my pickup truck, I got a semi truck, which also reminds me that I forgot to buy a flatbed for the semi. So we're going to go into here, and I think we're actually going to get a low loader. There's one, this one right here. I saw this mod on YouTube. So I was looking for something to kind of transport a harvester, and I don't like all the other ones. So we're going to grab this, and we're just going to customize it a little bit. Extension, yes. Hitch, truck, rear hitch, yes. Gooseneck, no. Version US. So clicking the US version of this actually makes it a bit longer. We're also going to get rid of that ugly orange color, make it black. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and buy this as well. And now we should have everything we absolutely need. So let's hop in pickup truck, and let's get the bed attached and get the trailer attached, and then we're going to try to get everything over to the farm in a couple trips. Try not to waste as much time as possible, because we currently do have some wheat that we need to harvest. We are playing, let's go through the settings real quick because I haven't touched these yet. Seasonal growth, yes. Days per month, 1. Let's go ahead and turn snow off. I don't love it. Crop destruction on. Fieldstone off. I hate fieldstone. I just don't enjoy doing that. Lime required. Weeds. Disaster destruction enabled. Periodic plowing required. No. Everything else is pretty easy and good. I'm going to go ahead and turn all of those things off. We are using better contracts. So basically, the way it works is if you see a field that you want to get, you can do contracts on that field, and it gives you certain percentage off after each contract you do. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't use it a ton. I don't think I've really ever used it, but just something to add in case we wanted to. Because with this one, this playthrough, I'm trying to be a industrial size soybean farmer, pretty much. I love soybeans. They sell for a lot of money, especially when you get the grain dryer and get them all dry and all that stuff. So the plan, hopefully within the next 3 years in game, is to purchase all of these fields and plow through this road and combine it into one mega field. So we're going to hopefully get that going sooner rather than later. But let's go ahead and get this trailer out of the way. We're going to move it right over here. And we're going to lower those ramps. Yeah, a little bit about me and Farming Simulator, and, kind of a little historical on this channel so far, is I've been playing Farming Simulator for about 2 years, really kind of off and on, but I actually really got into it again a few months ago. And I hate playing games by myself. I love playing with people and friends and all that, but this is a game I can actually sit and grind by myself kind of whenever. So I'm taking advantage of that, and I'm going to record some YouTube videos and see how all that goes. So we're going to get this low loader attached. We're going to spread those ramps out a bit. So with Farming Simulator, I love certain things about it. I don't like certain things about it. So you'll see me using some auto load on this because I'm not very good at, so I don't enjoy loading things by hand. It's just difficult to me. So I'm going to play how I want to play it, and that includes auto load. And don't think there's too much wrong with that. Some people take this game super seriously and do everything super realistically, and we're going to do it how we want to do it. I thought about taking a shot with precision farming. I've never done that before. It seems very difficult, but hopefully we can get into that later in the season, you know, after we kind of get our good start on it and I watch a lot of videos and figure out how to do it. But yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and get all this loaded up, and I'll be back with you once we get everything to the farmyard and we will take a tour. Alright, we are as loaded up as we could possibly be. We are heading over to the farmyard. I tried to set an AI worker to deliver that tractor and trailer. It looks like he just did a donut for whatever reason, and we fell over and we fixed ourselves. Okay, sick. So we're going to try to get over here without causing too much trouble on the roadways. I do have a couple things installed to help me with things like this. I do have super strength on just in case we need to, you know, move something out of the way, or if this flips over, I have no way of getting it back up without resetting it and going back to the shop and, you know, trying to fix it that way. And I don't really want to do that all the time, so we do have super strength just to help us out in scenarios like that. But we've got the Magnum, the Harvester, and the header all on this truck being pulled by it, and we're heading back to the farmyard to get everything parked and organized and do a little customization over there to see what we want to change, any buildings we want to add, take away, silos, all that good stuff. So it looks like he's cutting through that field right there for, you know, whatever reason we're trying to get past. We're not going to let that happen. You know, we're also going to cut through this field a little bit. Destroy a little bit of our sugar beets. I don't really care too much about the sugar beets. We'll give them a shot once they get grown and see what they're worth. But this is our farm right here. This is the starter farm. I did the starter farm to start with, but then I took everything on it and sold it all off because I don't need it. And oh, I love that I can't take down signs. That's going to be super helpful. So let's just move this guy out of the way. Move him over here. And we'll kind of check out everything we have and see what we need, what we don't need, all that. I need to fix my tab so I can quickly get to where I need to be. Yeah, so let's pull the semi into here. And we're going to use super strength to get a few things parked and in place just because that's what I really want to do. So right here, this is the first big shed. This is where we will have the harvester and everything. Looks like we already have the quad track in here, so we'll move that out. See if we want to put it back in here, if there's anywhere else we want to go with it. So the header is absolutely massive, so we're going to drag that in here first. And actually we need it because we are about to start a wheat harvest, so never mind, we're going to put it over here. I'm going to try not to use super strength as much as possible. I don't want to be too cheesy about the game, but you know, it does help in some cases, like hooking that up to the back of the harvester and backing it up over there is going to be a nightmare. So let's get these ramps down, and we'll get the harvester all set up, and we'll start harvesting that wheat field here shortly. Probably going to set up some auto drive and course play so we can really automate it while we can work on the other aspects of the farmyard and get things where they need to be. I really didn't set myself up for a successful turnaround right there. Cool, so let's just go ahead and get that attached. And we'll take it over to the wheat field here in a second. While we do that, let's actually slow down time a bit so we don't waste the whole day and have to wither our crops. Okay, so next up we have the auger wagon. This is one that I've used in Otherworld or other saves, and I really like it. So we'll just get that off the truck, and we will also use that for the wheat harvest. So let's get this tractor all situated. Get it off the trailer. sideways like that. We're going to put this one over here in the shed. We're going to use the quad track for our grain cart for the wheat harvest we're about to do. Let's get this guy all set up right here. So I'm using a mod called Park Vehicle, and I love it. Whenever you get a ton of vehicles and you're tabbing through them, you don't have to tab through 50 just to get to one place. So down here on the bottom right, you've got this little logo right here. If I hit Control T, that parks the vehicle. So now I don't tab into this tractor anymore. So I have this one right here, and we will park this also in here. Drop that cart. We'll put this one right next to the other one. And then I can kind of line up a little bit. We'll hit Control T. So now those are no longer able to be tabbed between. Let's connect to this auger wagon. Gosh, this thing is a beast. I forget how big this tractor is. I don't use it a ton in my other playthroughs. So we will connect that up. And then we will drive on over to the field, or just around the way to kind of get this out of the way. We got a lot of space over here. We're probably gonna do some greenhouses, maybe some apple trees. Got the apple tree mod from a server I was playing on with some friends a few weeks ago, and it makes a ton of money and just a good passive income, so we might do that. Let's get these ramps raised, and we are going to go park this trailer in this other storage shed. I like this farm setup. I love the massive sheds, and I love sheds that you can just pull through. It just makes parking things so much easier. I'm horrible at backing up. I don't use a steering wheel or anything. I'm really mouse and keyboard the whole time, unless I decide to not use auto load for whatever reason. Then I'll grab a controller out to help me with that. So we'll just pull this up, a little space, dump that right there, and then we will open this up. What I forgot to purchase was a semi-trailer for grain. I don't love this one. I love how it looks, but I don't love using it because it's pretty small. But I think we're going to go with it just because it's cheap and it'll get us through this this first little harvest of wheat. What I don't think we have, what is that? That's the workshop, that's the house. We don't have a silo, it looks like. So yeah, no, we don't have one. So we're going to build a silo. Not just any silo, we are going to build the AGI grain dryer wherever it's at. It might be in silos actually. Let's find it. No, is it in factories? Yep, there it is. Okay, AGI grain dryer. This thing is massive, but it is awesome. So basically you can take all the crops you're doing and you can dry them, and you can sell that for a ton more profit. So we're going to set this guy up right here, I believe. Yeah, that works for me. And now let's take this pickup truck, get it out of the way, and once we get this all parked, we will go pick up our new semi-trailer, and we will get started on our first harvest on the Michigan map of wheat, because it's the month to harvest that, and if we don't, it'll wither and I'll lose out on money. Not really hurting for money. I'll probably take some money away from myself because I pretty overestimated how much things will cost, and we're pretty set up now. So let's actually go ahead and do that. Let's go with add remove money. Let's just get us down to, I don't know, 100K. So let's do negative 400,000. There we go. Okay. Feel like that's fair. Oh, wrong thing. Get in the truck. I'll clean all this up and get the sheds organized later. But yeah, so this is our little wheat field right here to our right. I may not have to use the big semi truck for wrong button for auto drive to do the dumping. I may just run the auger wagon to the silo. Oh, what I also need is a barrel for propane, because with the AGI grain dryer you dry the grain with propane. So let's, anything on sale? Oh, I could have bought that for 65% off. How much can I sell it for? Do a quick flip. $156,000. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna buy this one and just put the extension back on it, and then we're gonna make it red because I didn't do that earlier. There we go. So we just made 70K, just like that. Alright, well, I'm going to go pick up this semi-trailer and get the new auger wagon over to the farm, and then we will get started on the harvest, so I will be right back. Alright, so we are back over here at our wheat field, and we're about to get our harvest started. I set up some auto drive with the auger wagon, and we're going to see if it works. So let's get started on this field. Normally I would use Courseplay, but I've been having some trouble with it lately and I don't love it. So we're just going to start this on our own, and then we're going to get the regular AI within the game to take over once we kind of get it rolling. So we're also going to turn on straw swath. It's just gonna make us a little extra money if we can bale it and do some stuff like that later on. So let's go ahead and get going, get them going in the right direction, and then we will turn on the AI and see if we can get all that rolling. And while they harvest, we will start working on the farmyard a little bit. So do AI worker, start with headland, and hit go, and we're gonna let him do his thing. So this is the auger wagon route that I made. It's literally just a circle. So they go around, dump it, come back around. This is their white spot. So hopefully it works. All right, so we have started harvest. The combine is running right now. I just realized I forgot to change my time back to normal after getting everything built. So we just picked up a baler. With the wheat that's on the field, we're going to do the straw swath, so it's going to drop, and we will bale it up with the tractor after we get everything finished, just to sell it off and make a little bit of extra money. The combine's going right now. I set up auto drive with the auger wagon. Hopefully it's working well. I'm about to drive back over there and see. I did turn off traffic just for the initial test to make sure it's all working. Never used auger wagons with auto drive before, so we'll see how it goes. But other than that, we should be pulling up on it at the end of this road, and then we will get the baler unloaded. It's kind of weighing down my trailer, kind of weird. I didn't bring a tractor over to load it onto the trailer, just got it picked up. But let's see if we can get the, yeah, there's the combine, and it looks like, oh. Alright, let's head over there and see. He's close. He's waiting for it to call. When you're not using Courseplay and you're just using the regular Giants AI to do with auto drive, it waits until the pipe is out, I believe. Alright, so now he has a full tank, and he'll extend the pipe, and now he should be going. So he's going to drive over there. Okay, it's working well. He's going to pull right up next to him. And pull right under it. I wonder if it's going to leave him right here and it's going to mess up the headland for the combine to make this turn. We'll see. He's unloading. It'll take it a second. What I really want to see is if this works with the silo we have. Okay, there he goes. Let's see what he does here. Don't think he's going to get out of the way, which could be bad. Maybe the harvester will just be smart. Looks like he is. Oh yeah, he's a genius. Alright, let's see if we can get him to go ahead and... Can't reach it. Can't reach weight either. Okay, fantastic. Let's just drive closer then. I don't know what that is, what that means I should do or not, but we're just gonna drive over here and see. Should be close enough by now. Can't reach weight. Weight is literally right there. Why can't you reach weight? I'm gonna go ahead and send them to the dump. See if this works. If it does, everything's fantastic. Oh, this looks great. Okay, so that is a little close. So let's take that and let's actually... Can I delete it? Nope, that deleted a different one. Okay. Alright, here he goes. Dump 2. Please be good. Please work. Oh yeah, okay, we're golden. My truck fell over, but we're golden. Can I fix it myself? Don't think so. Let's just pull you back over. That's why we have super strength. Okay, so harvest should be fully automated. I am going to pause right here and I will come back to you once harvest is over and we will start on some baling. Alright guys, we're back. It's been some time and I've had some time to think. So I know literally I haven't started editing this yet, but either 5 or 10 minutes ago I said I wanted to be the best soybean farmer in the world. And while that is still true, I realized I really don't want to just farm soybeans for 10 years straight in this farming simulator world. So we're still going to do soybeans. We're still going to make a lot of money off soybeans, but I want to also do chickens. And I've been watching another YouTuber, and he did recently a, what was it, 10,000 chickens and 10 million eggs by a certain date, or some kind of challenge like that. I don't want to get as extreme as that, but it looked really fun. So, in the time that it took for me to harvest this field and work on the baling process, I came to the conclusion that I'm going to be a chicken farmer who sells soybeans to pay for his chickens, pretty much. So that means we need to do some math and figure out how much it's going to cost to build the chicken houses, and whether we want to start with adult chickens in a few of them so they can reproduce and eventually fill up themselves, Or do we want to slowly grind it and buy young chickens and feed them and let them grow up and reproduce and do everything else? So need to kind of sit down and do some math, but I am finishing up baling this wheat field. We actually got, show you here, 106,000 liters of wheat sitting in the grain dryer, 27,000 already dried, so that brings us to, what, 134,000-ish liters of wheat. That will be valued at $1,045 in January. So that's 140 grand just off the wheat that we didn't even have to do anything for. This is a smaller field, so when it comes time, I think I'm going to replant this field with oat and use that to feed the chickens. 134,000 liters of oat would go a long way for the chicken house. So that being said, we have almost harvested this. We do have the other cornfield down here that's pretty large. Corn harvest is in October, so I went ahead and bought a corn header and I took out some loans, so we now owe the bank, let's see, $150,000. Not too bad. We can pay that off rather quickly with contracts and such. But we owe the bank some money. We have everything we need to start being successful. Got all the tractors I need, got a harvester, got a corn header, got my baler. The only thing I don't have, which I will need soon, within the next few months, is a seeder. I know I need a planter for soybeans, but if I want to really feed these chickens well, then I'm going to need a seeder to plant oats and wheat and whatever else I want to plant to feed the chickens. So I used to use this one a lot on another server I played on because it had the direct seeder, the no cultivation thing. So I'd like that one again. It's nice and wide, you can do fertilizer, but it's $200,000, so that's a little bit pricey. But I think once we get into October and we get our corn harvested, we can do some contracts to make some serious money, because these fields are quite large. Let's see, I mean, that's a smaller field, a little bit smaller than mine. It's 30 grand just to harvest that wheat, so you'd really be making about, I don't know, 45, 50 off of the extra selling that you get to keep if you do it effectively, or efficiently, should I say. So we're going to be doing some contracts. I don't really want to take out any more loans. I might do it, though. We'll see. If I need to, if I don't have enough money to get the seeder by planting season, then I will take some out to just get that done, because, I mean, you can't feed chickens if you don't have feed, and you can't get feed without a seeder. So right now, off the top of my head, my baseline goals are to do another year of planting, harvest, and selling to get enough money to buy the first of my chicken houses. That other YouTuber I was talking about, the chicken houses he uses are these, the fattening mod, and you can have up to 5,000 chickens, but that is $356,000. There's this one I bought a long time ago, or I installed a long time ago, that's $80,000, but I don't know. I'll have to see which one is better, which one I like. I kind of like the 5,000 chicken one, though, but getting $356,000 is not going to be easy, but nothing about this game is easy, so it'll be fine. We're going to finish up this baling, and then I will come back to you once that's done, and we'll go from there. Alright, we are on the last pass here. If you look at the bale counter over there to the bottom left, right around here, you see we're at 48. We should get a little over 50, maybe 52 off this field, so that'll be nice. Just not big money, just a little money, but it's nice. But yeah, so been thinking more about the chickens. We're gonna do the chickens. After this video, I'm gonna sit down, make a mathematical plan, and then in the next video, we're gonna have a strategy on how we get there. Yeah, once I get done with this, I'm going to hook up the pickup truck to the gooseneck trailer. I'm going to load up all these bales. I'm going to show you the bale auto-loading trailer if you've never seen it before. It's fantastic and saves hours on your day with baling. So yeah, so we're finishing up right here. Right over there you can see I've just built a new little building. It's a shed mod, and basically it just stores pallets, bales, and pretty much anything you need. So let's hit Y. We will unload the baler. Pull up a little bit so that one gets off. Then we will fold it on up. And let's go park this thing in the equipment shed. Okay, so this trailer auto loads bales. It's very nice. Holds like 40, 44, something like that. I just throw them all in the shed behind the dryer. Stores them really easily, get them out really easily. Not super realistic, but it's not how we're trying to play this one. So we'll hook up the gooseneck, pull on out of here, and then we'll actually raise it a little bit. Don't think it's doing it. Oh well, that's fine. And we'll set it to operating position, and then all you do is you just drive by the bales and it just throws them on there for you. Nice and neat. So I'm thinking with this field, we will replant it with oat, just to do the first crop for feeding the chickens. What I would like to do is stock up on as much feeding crop with them with this field as much as I can, and then once we feel good about that, we'll start working on some money making crops. This field's smaller than the other ones, I believe. This one's 30 acres and that one's they're technically about the same, but I'm thinking we have corn on this one right here. We'll harvest that in October, and then we will plow this field. I'm probably gonna just plow through these sugar beets. I really don't think they're not worth like anything, and I don't have a production that would, benefit from them. So where are they at? Right here. Yeah, their high point's $356. So I'm not too interested in them. I don't care about the loss. I'd rather just go ahead and get that field prepped for soybeans, which technically don't plant until April, I believe. Yeah, planting is in April. Sugar beet harvest is in October. I might as well collect them. We'll take a look at it. I've never harvested sugar beets like that before, but we will look at the equipment, see how much it's going to cost, and if it's even worth it. I doubt it, but we'll see. Yeah, let's just grab all these bales. I think we can get one more layer of them on here. I missed some spots with the baler. This last pass was just like one tiny row of wheat that didn't fit on the other last pass technically. Okay, looks like we're full, so we will drop those down. Looks like I got one extra by accident. Okay, so we'll go deliver these off to that shed, and we'll come back for the last ones. Really heavy, it looks like. We got 360,000 liters of straw, 468,000 total, so nice little straw harvest. Getting to make, 40 grand off that. Looks like the wheat, well, that's not all the wheat, that's just what I currently have, but $41,000 on straw. Why not collect it? After 4 or 5 harvests, that baler will have paid for itself, and then it's just straight money from there. But I need to edit the grass on here and make an actual path into the shed, but just drive up, unstrap them, drive through, and it collects them and it puts them in a nice, neat little thing right there. So that shed right here, it is, it's actually technically a silo, but it's this whole pack right here. The one I got was this one, I believe. Yeah, that one. So it holds 480 pallets or items. When we get into planting and fertilizing and all of that, I will probably build another storage area for fertilizer and lime and herbicide and all that stuff. Hopefully we won't need herbicide. Hopefully we won't get our weeds that high, but we'll see. Currently on the docket for purchases is going to be a seeder and a weeder and a lime spreader slash solid fertilizer spreader. I might get a sprayer. It depends which crops I want to do. I know some of them sprayer might be better. I'm not sure yet though. It might be cheaper. We'll see. I'll do all that math off camera and we'll talk about all that in the next episode. But I'm going to go deliver these, and then I'm going to get started on the corn harvest, and then we will look at sugar beet harvest together, and we're just going to try to get through December of this year in this first episode. I'm going to see how much I've recorded and edited, try to keep it somewhat short and simple and sweet for you, but yeah, I'm going to get on that, and I'll be back to you in a sec. Alright, so it's October. I've got a problem. He is stuck in the trees. Okay, great way to start this. Let's fix that. Let's back him up. Now let's get him back on track here. Okay. Alright, now that that's fixed, I looked into sugar beets and they suck. So we're not going to do that. I had this tractor out here. I started to do the process and then I looked and it's going to be horrible. They don't make any money. So we're just going to plow this whole field, and we're not going to do it because I really don't want to, because it's not worth anything. And it's going to take a ton of work to do nothing, pretty much. So that's where I landed with that. So we're going to go grab our plow here, and then we're going to get started on plowing this field, and hopefully my auto drive on the cornfield is going to work. I think I did it correctly. The only thing I'm worried about is if the auger wagon will actually unload into the semi, and if I need to look at that, because I kind of just guessed on how to do it based on a video I watched from Farming Simulator 2022, but they said nothing's really changed, so we'll see if that works. But let's go ahead and get this guy started on plowing this field, because I really don't want to deal with all these sugar beets. I'd rather have this land ready to go for planting something else soon, literally something other than that. So we're going to go ahead and get this AI worker going. I try not to use AI workers all the time, but when it's something as simple as plowing, I really don't want to do it. I'd rather be focused on the harvesting and things that make money. Alright, so he's pulling up here. He's collecting. These headlands might get a little weird with the traffic, but he's almost good with that. We'll see here. Alright. So he's kind of just sitting right here, which I don't think is an issue. It'll back up traffic a little bit, but I think it's fine. The hard part will be unloading into the truck. So once we get around this corner, I think I'm just going to send him on his way to start that. So I've got the truck just sitting, and the harvester is nowhere near full. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and send him on over. Okay, you can't reach that. Great. Let's scoot him a bit closer. This does this a couple times at the start when he's pretty far away, because he's all the way over here, but his path is all the way over there. So let's just drive up here and see if we can get him going and see if this works. And if it doesn't, then I should have plenty of time to fix it before I need to unload the harvester again. This cornfield is yielding horribly. This is how I bought it. This is how it came with it. we're at a 37% yield bonus. So don't expect to really, this to do super well. But let's see if we can, we can't reach it. Let's just pull forward a bit and see if we can get him going. Okay, we're going to send him on to Corn Auger, which is the next spot. If you know anything about auto drive and you can tell that I did this wrong, don't worry about it. This is just what I observed from the video I watched. We're gonna stop this so he doesn't get in the way. Back him up a bit, just in case. We're gonna see if this works. And looky there, it does not. That's great. Shouldn't be too bad of a fix. So we should just take these and we're gonna set this to, we're gonna set it to there. We're just gonna hit go and see if he stops. Okay, that's working, but I think I accidentally made it work. That's okay. We'll just let him fill this little bit up. Let's actually set it to, I think I accidentally set those in the right spot. Okay. So, I think it should be working. We'll see. We're just gonna let it run, and we'll check it out, and see if anything happens towards the end. Alright, so we are at the last bit of the corn harvest. I'm dumping the auger wagon right now, and I'm going to move it over here to the side. And then I'm going to head back over to the harvester. It's doing its last pass. It's close enough to the field. I'm just going to let that finish up, and then once it finishes this, I'll just drive it back and dump straight from the harvester into the grain dryer. Not horrible, I don't think, of a yield. We're at, let's go look. We've got 122,000 liters in there, and it's already dried 5, so we're at 130,000 with probably another 10,000 to go. So 140,000 liters of corn and dried corn. Let's check its price. It goes for a decent bits. Dried corn goes up to $1,197 when normal corn would only be at $909. So good little percentage increase. Yeah, we're gonna finish up this field, and then I'm going to do a lot of contract works off camera so we can financially survive to April. One mod I forgot to mention earlier is we have a financing mod. So let's say I wanted to buy a new semi-trailer, this one right here, I can click financing and I can do, whatever kind of interest and stuff like that I would need. And I actually financed, I think it was the baler? Yeah, something like that. Basically, I'm paying 20 grand a month on that finance until that's paid for in 6 months. I believe it was the baler. So we need to somehow make $20,000 a month at least to stay in the black and break even. So I'm going to be doing lots of contract work. Contracts are pretty good. Probably going to do this harvesting one. Actually, no, I'm not. That's carrots. If you've never harvested carrots in Farming Simulator 25, don't do it. It's very, very difficult. Some spinach. Yeah. Not a lot of great ones. Plowing, super easy. Since we have that plow, I might send that out there, make a little bit of money so we can keep up until April. So we're finishing up this last pass right here, and he should be done. So I think he left one little line over there. I don't think those 5 liters of corn is going to make the world difference. Let's take this, and we'll put this header back on the trailer. Oh. Overran it a little bit. And we'll just drop that on down. And it'll fix itself. And we're going to bump the trailer because that's just what we do, because we're horrible drivers over here. And yeah, so we'll attach this and we'll get back and we'll dump that corn. We'll do a little recap of how much money harvesting those 2 fields is going to bring in. Alright, we are back at the farmyard. We're going to get so far away over here so we can dump the corn on into there. The last 10,000 liters, last little bit that we got. And then let's check and see how that's going to do for us. A little financial recap. I took out some loans to buy some equipment. We're at $235,000 in debt. Not horrible. Only lost 30 grand this month, which is fantastic. Wage payment from my AI workers. I leased some stuff to check on the sugar beets. Hated it, so lost 5 grand there. And then I bought a header trailer for 14,000. But all right, so now that that's in there, we're gonna automatically save, and we will have got 129,000 with 8,000 already done. So I have about 136,000 liters of dried corn, which will get us to about, where's it at? There it is. At its peak, it's 1197. So let's just do some quick math. Times 1197. So we're going to make about $160,000 off the dried corn. I'm going to write that down. And then off of the dried wheat, we're going to get about 127 out of. And then another 40K for the straw. So plus 127,000 plus 41. So we're looking at roughly 330 grand just off those 2 fields. Not horrible. That'll at least help us get out of debt if we are still in debt by the time we get there. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for the first video of this new series. Like I said, this is my first actual edit and recording video, you know, all basically anything that's not a stream. If you do want to follow my Twitch, you can. I don't really stream regularly, just kind of whenever me and some buddies are playing some games and want to go live, but I'll have that linked in the description. And thanks for tuning in. And I should have episode 2 of this out here in a couple days.